Hi, welcome to episode 120 of the Corner of Knit and Tea. I'm Laura, also known as Fluffy K on Ravelry, Fluffy Kira on Instagram and Twitter. I blog over at thecornerofknitandtea.com, and that's where this episode and every episode show notes will be. I have an Etsy shop called The Corner of Knit and Tea, where I sell my handspun yarns and tumblers and cozies. And we have a Ravelry group called The Corner of Knit and Tea. Welcome! It is Sunday, January 15th. It is the weekend of Icemaggedon here in Kansas City. They predicted that we were going to have a huge ice storm, and my guess is, I haven't really checked the weather this morning, my guess is, or the news this morning, that the people south of us really did get the storm, but we actually managed to escape unscathed. It looks like we had maybe a little bit of rain, but nothing super icy outside. So I suppose that is good for us, and I hope those that it did hit are doing okay, that it warmed up and maybe was more rain than ice. But we have been sort of confined to the house for the last couple days, sort of in anticipation of the event. I went to the market and stocked up. And was looking forward to a long weekend knitting in my pajamas, and so I've gotten some of that, and so I've touched lots of projects this week. I hope that you have had a good week. The weather has been cold here, and like I said, we were preparing for the ice storm, but otherwise it was a pretty good week. And I actually have tomorrow off work for Martin Luther King Jr. Remembrance Day. And so I am planning to stay cozy and do lots more knitting and enjoy my time at home. So let's get started. Today's tea is one that I have liked for a while. This is Celestial Seasonings Sugar Plum Spice. It is one of their holiday teas. It is caffeine free, and I'm trying to remember what's in it. Hibiscus, chicory, rose hips, chamomile, plum and cinnamon flavors, ginger, roasted carob, and cardamom. So again, it's a bit of a spicy tea, and I am drinking that in my Kansas mug. It is my Wizard of Oz mug. It says, "Dear Dorothy, hate Oz, took the shoes, find your own way home, love Toto." So that is my Kansas mug and my sugar plum spice tea. Ooh, and that is really, really hot. But that is what I'm drinking today to stay warm. So let's go through the knits. You can see I have quite a pile here. The first thing that I finished this week are my Christmas socks. These were my Christmas Eve cast-on socks with the Little Bobbins Knits Christmas Eve cast-on. These are Jinx Yarns in her sport weight. I think it's called her strong sport weight, and it is in Gingerbread House. And then she also sold a coordinating skein of baby pink that I used at the cuffs and the heels. I decided not to bother using them at the toes, but these are my first pair of socks done for 2017, and I am looking forward to wearing them. They feel super cozy, and they were sport weight, so they knit up super fast. It is my standard vanilla sock at 56 stitches, and then I did a heel flap and gusset. So I am very pleased with those, and that was a finished object for this week. The second thing that I finished this week is I decided that I needed some dishcloths. One of the things that I have when I drink tea is that a lot of my mugs are tea stained. They have the rings in them, and getting that tea stain out, I always feel like I'm scrubbing forever. And just this week I thought, wow, I wonder if that would be easier if I had a dishcloth, a hand knit dishcloth. So yesterday I grabbed, I have a big bag of cotton yarn that a friend gave me and refuses to take back. And this is the Spa Day face cloth by Anne Mancine. I think it's Anne Mancine. Let me just check. Yes, that is exactly who it's by. And it is just a waffle knit, and I used one of the natural colors, and it is super soft and squishy, and I think it's going to be perfect. I will probably knit one more, but I just wanted to knit one and see what I thought. So I need to wash this, I guess. I don't even know. I probably don't even need to wash it. And then I can just use it and see how that goes. So that is the second finished object for this week. Something little, but just something useful that I needed. So let's talk about works in progress. I am still working on my sweater. This is the Faro pullover by Amy Christophers, or Amy Christophers, I think is how she pronounces it. And as I showed you last week, I had cast on. It is knit from cuff to cuff, so from sleeve to sleeve. And I finished the sleeve and added on a bunch of the body stitches. I can't completely stretch it out because it is on not a huge length needle. But as you can see, I am starting to add in body stitches, and I am pleased with my progress. I added in the... Oh, I have that backwards for you, don't I? Yes. I added in the second ball of yarn this week, and as you can see, it is a pattern that involves both cables and a little bit of lace. I am using Green Mountain Spinnery. This is their weekend wool, which is an Aran weight. It comes 140 yards to 100 gram skein. And while it is definitely a little bit rustic, it is not super scratchy. I will be wearing this sweater over a top, partially because it, with the lace, is pretty see-through, but also because it will be more comfortable that way. But I don't think it's going to be super itchy. So that is my Faro pullover, and I have about, well, I think I have about 20 more rows before I start shaping for the neck. So that is exciting, and I have made some good progress on that. I just started my second ball yesterday, and I am pleased with this, and can't wait to have a finished sweater. So that has seen some work this week, and hopefully we'll see more before my 3-day weekend is out. The second thing that I cast on is something that I talked about last week. I talked about how my husband had asked for a hat, and he had wanted it to be bright yellow, so I ordered a skein of Madeline Tosh DK in Edison bulb. Yes, it really is this bright. It is a fluorescent yellow, which matches a lot of his other running gear. And I decided to knit him the classic cuffed hat. It's by Pearl Soho, and basically it is just a hat with long ribbing at the bottom and then just a basic stocking cap. On top it will be sort of a beanie with ribbing. And as I said, he would like extra long ribbing so he can fold it over his ears twice. And so I am about, I would say probably 4-ish inches into 6 of ribbing, and then I will work on the regular hat. It is all scrunched up on my 16-inch needle here, but I pulled it off the needle and tried it on him last night, and it will stretch enough for him, so it is good enough. And I am hoping to finish this hat before the weekend is over. I did all the ribbing kind of late yesterday afternoon, early evening, so I hope to finish the ribbing and move on to the stockinette part, and maybe finish this today, if not tomorrow, but so he has a hat that he can run in. So again, that is the classic cuffed hat by Pearl Soho. It is a freebie on their site. And then this is Madeline Tosh in Edison bulb. Bright, 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 bright. The next thing that I cast on this week is also something I have been talking about for a while. I started on the Valentine's Day socks for my darling niece and nephew. And this is the first of Roxy's socks. And I've actually knit this twice now. I started on a different size needle and didn't like it so much, so I went down a needle size. And I am doing sort of Susan B. Anderson's Afterthought heel, and I decided to do that because I didn't want to break the stripes up. Normally when I knit Roxy socks, I usually just do a Fish Lips Kiss heel, but I decided I did not want to break the stripes up on this one. This is Knitterly Things Vesper sock yarn. It is her self-striping sock yarn, and she makes the best stripes of all colors. This is in the Sweetheart colorway, and so I am making it for Valentine's Day. I need to finish this one, do up another one, and then I need to decide what to do for Miles. Originally I was thinking I might make him socks, but he is 3 months old, 4 months old, 3 months old. And I'm not sure whether he'll kick them off, so I haven't decided if I'm going to knit socks for him or if I'm just going to do like those little leggies, the leg warmers, and just do those in ribbed so my sister can cover his legs. I'm sure she has socks on his feet. I'm just not sure whether he'll be able to kick the knitted socks off as opposed to nylon socks that would really like be a little bit tighter. But Miss Roxy definitely wants Valentine's Day socks. And then I think I'm going to go out and try and find them some shirts or onesies to go with their Valentine's Day socks and send them a cute little package. So that's one of the fun things I like about being an aunt. You get to do cute little packages. And yes, my Valentine's Day socks are in my Christmas bag still. I said I was going to put it away and I haven't, and oh well. So a sip of tea and let's move on to spinning. I should say that's not all I worked on this week. I did pull out my Sowerby wrap on a couple nights because I have been trying to, well, I decided that I was going to read 52 books this year as my reading challenge, so roughly a book a week. And I know sometimes I'll read more and sometimes I'll read less, but that's what I have been trying. And I have been getting books from the library. And after Wes goes to bed at night, I have been sitting and knitting and reading before bed rather than spending all my time on social media, which sometimes can get me a little wound up before bed. So I have been reading and knitting on my simple projects. Last night I worked on that sock. But the other thing that I worked on earlier this week was my Sowerby shawl by Annika Baranti. And that is coming along well, but it is still a big rectangle in a solid color, so I didn't bring it to show it. The other project that I also touched this week, I took it to Wednesday night knit night, although it's technically crochet, was I worked on my scrappy blanket some more. But that, there's been a few rows put on that, but not a huge amount, so I didn't bring that to show it. So I touched lots of projects this week, and there's lots of crafty creativeness going on. I just didn't bring them all today to show you, but hopefully I will be nearing finish on the Sowerby wrap or doing something more interesting with it soon, so I will bring that. I just have so many different things that I want to knit. So let's move on to spinning. I brought the skein back to show you because I finished it after we talked last week. Last week I showed you the bobbin. This is Hella Yarn Nimble. It was in merino. It was from a shop update. And it is beautiful. It is teals and purples and browns, and it's got just all kinds of things. I think the camera is washing it out just a smidge. I think it's a little bit brighter than that. You can check pictures on Instagram, and this one is up in my shop, but it came out to a very nice 375 yards, and it is a squishy kind of sport fingering weight. It is regular merino, not super wash, but I think it would make lovely accessories, and it would just, it just makes me happy because it's super squishy and fun. That brings me to what I spun this week. Unfortunately, I did not get it finished, so it's still on the bobbin, ready to be plied. This is Nerd Girl Yarns. In her Secret Spiders colorway. This one is 100% superwash merino, so it would be great for socks. It is in all these different purples and blacks, and I am loving this one. It was just a pleasure to spin and watch the colors, and I am going to ply that this evening, and so pictures should be up in the shop probably Tuesday or Wednesday. I know a few of you expressed that this was definitely your jam. And this was from my stash from April 2014, so I was pretty happy to be spinning something that had been in the stash for a while. The next one also comes from 2014, and that is what I will be spinning this week. This is a beautiful Southern Cross fiber. It was a club colorway. It is called Beyond the Yellow Brick Road, and it is all kinds of greens and teals with just a very hint of some lime green or a little bit of yellow. It is totally in my color wheelhouse. It is 100% organic merino, so it is super, super soft. And it was from October 2014, so I am continuing to delve into stash and try and spin things that have been in there in a while that I have been saving. This one is also for the shop, so if these are your colors, please think about it. And I will have that to show you next week. Hopefully I will actually finish playing it before next week. I would love to get back on a schedule where I could show you a finished yarn each week rather than yarn on the bobbin. So that is what's coming up. for all my stuff, I guess I got through the podcast pretty fast. I don't have too much more to tell you. We still have the Selfish Craft Along going on in the group. That is knit, spin, weave, sew, anything for yourself in the month of January. It's just a little treat to ourselves after the holiday season. And you can post as many finished objects as you make in January. The only rule is that it should be for yourself. So please join everyone in the thread and post those objects. I'm working on all kinds of things, many for me, some not for me, but all of my projects are bringing me joy these days, and that has been kind of fun, and I have a million things I want to cast on, so I just need to keep knitting so I can move forward and hit some of my other cast-ons. So I guess that's about it. I will say to you, as I always do, I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead, and until I see you again, happy knitting, happy spinning, happy sipping, and I'll see you next time. Bye!